Greetings, Pine Richland Middle School Grade 8 students. My name is Mrs. Bowman. I am the principal at Pine Richland High School. And let me be the first to welcome you to the high school as the class of 2025. Today, I, along with our building principals, will be sharing some important information with you about our scheduling process for the high school as you're coming into 9th grade, and also share a little bit of information about our high school as well. So first, an overview of our building. As all of you know as 8th grade students in the Pine Richland School District, the mission statement of our school district is to focus on learning for every student every day. And we take great pride in how that happens for you here at the high school. Our high school is very large. As you can see on the screen, there's information there about the grade levels, the number of students that we have, but I want to focus in for just a brief moment on the different clubs and activities and athletics that we have here for you. We include over 40 different clubs for you. We have athletics and other activities available for you as well. And so as we are sharing information with you today about our program of studies, and you begin to dive into that document available to you online with your families, I encourage you to be sure, as you are looking through there and focused on courses, please make sure that you take the time to click the link to our different clubs and activities and make sure that you begin to not only plan your academic endeavors, but your interests and activities and your club endeavors as well. When you come to the high school, we have such an amazing school counseling team to support you. We have 5 counselors, along with our college and career counselor, Mrs. Welshaunt, our school social worker that works with you at the middle school as well as here at the high school, as well as 2 secretaries in our school counseling office as well. You will have an opportunity as a high school student to meet with your counselor. We will make sure in the fall to introduce you to them personally, and then they will be checking on you individually over the course of your years with us at the high school. They are here to support you. And as I said earlier, you will have an opportunity to meet them. Just a brief overview on life at the high school. Our academic day includes 8 class periods, and you have lunch. Listed on the screen is the length of time for our classes, minutes between classes, just some of the specifics about how we manage the number of students that we have here. I think most important about your time at the high school is the added responsibilities that we provide because you are older, more mature, and able to accept those responsibilities. It's a large building, and yes, you only have 4 minutes to get from class to class, but trust me when I tell you that is plenty of time to move throughout the building as you need to. Please do not spend your time as you are going through the program of studies with your family worried about those types of things. Just know and trust that we will make sure that your transition into the high school building is a smooth one. And we, again, are here to support you. I want to take a moment and talk specifically about the scheduling timeline that you see on your screen. We will be sharing with you and with your families a very detailed timeline with you on January 25th. And I encourage you to take the time again with your family to review that information carefully. There are a few important dates on here for you to be aware of. But most importantly, I want to stress the importance of using the community web portal in Sapphire. As all of you know by now, we have a new portal that we use to communicate information to you. And in the past, we would be giving you hard copies of information, collecting those documents back once your parents have signed them. But all of that exchange of information is going to happen through the community web portal. So please make sure that you have access to that. Work with your school secretary if you do not have access to that. That is where we will be sharing information with you. Your teachers and school counselor Counselors at the middle school will be helping us to remind you of important timelines and important deadlines as well. But again, community web portal, so important as we roll out our scheduling for 2021-2022. And the last thing I'm going to share is just a reminder about graduation requirements. You're going to hear some more specifics and details about the graduation plan for the high school. In order to graduate from Pine Richland High School and earn the Pine Richland School District diploma, you need to earn 24 or more credits. And we break that down into very specific content areas, but there's also opportunities for you to make selections based on your interests as well. Again, I mentioned earlier about your counselors, and your counselors will help you to focus on this graduation plan and make sure that you have met the graduation requirements as a Pine Richland student. At this time, I'm going to put my mask back on so I can walk off screen, and at that, I'm going to introduce our assistant principal, Mr. Pushkas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowman. I'm Mr. Rob Pushkas. I primarily work with our seniors here at the high school, but we do a pretty nice job of working with all classes. So chances are before the school year ends or before you end your path as a ninth grader, you and I will have a chance to work together. What I'm going to start talking about today is a review of Keystone exam graduation requirements. So on the screen you can see that Keystone exams are required, have federal regulations. They require students to complete the exams. Pine Richland School Board policy states the student must demonstrate proficiency on the exams in order to graduate from high school. These exams are standardized tests within Algebra 1, Biology, and Literature. After your first attempt on the Keystone exam, if you do not pass, you will be enrolled in a program that we call USA Test Prep. This will allow you to prepare for your upcoming retake on the Keystone exam. The other option you have is to be enrolled in a supplemental course. This is within Algebra or Biology. These are half-year courses that prepare you for your next attempt on the Keystone exam in order to meet the Pine Richland graduation requirement. That's just a quick path of your work through the Keystone exams as far as the graduation requirements for Pine Richland High School. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the program of studies. So on the screen are some screenshots of how you can navigate to the Pine Richland website to find the program of studies. Please take time to review the course descriptions, as Mrs. Bowman mentioned, as well as some of the other tools that are available within the program of studies. I'd like to review a few of those with you here today. So one of the things we encourage all students to do is to be active within the high school. There are just so many options in terms of courses, clubs, and activities that you can be involved in. So find your interest, find your niche, and find a way to be involved. On the other side of that, it's important to talk about balance. Consider your options, needs, interests, and at the same time, think about that valuable time just for yourself. So we all need that time to decompress and disconnect, and don't forget about that as you start to think about the courses that you want to take and any clubs and activities that you want to be involved in. Please consider some time for yourself, for your health and wellness when you consider your schedule for next year. On this page, you'll see the graduation plan. There's a copy of this within the program of studies to guide you in your courses, but you and your school counselor will sit down and take a look at this. And really what it is it allows you to plot your pathway throughout the high school. So this plan can change, but the important part is to build a direction of courses that are centered around your interests, goals, and meeting all of the requirements for graduation. On page 9 of the program of studies, you'll find the time management planner. This is really such an important part of what you're going to do as you start to schedule your courses. As we mentioned, finding a balance, and this time management planner allows you to organize your commitments and your available hours. It's going to plot your academic time, extracurriculars, and as I mentioned before, your personal time just for you. It's crucial to not overextend yourself, and I really cannot stress that enough, is really think about the courses that you're scheduling, the time that you're going to put in outside of school as your commitment to those courses, and then other activities that you're involved in. Make sure that you chart some time for yourself just to decompress and disconnect from all the things that you do here and relax. So for more information on the scheduling process, I'm going to introduce Mr. Salopek.
Good morning, Pine Richland. My name is Mr. Salopek. Thank you to Mr. Pushkis for bringing me on here this morning. I'm excited to share with you all some important information regarding our scheduling process for the 2021-2022 school year. This is a large process. This is a big part of being a high school student, and we know that for our 8th grade students, this process may feel overwhelming and feel like a daunting task. That being said, we have a lot of supports that are built in place to help guide you through this process. In addition, we have some really new cool resources this year that our students are going to be able to utilize and make it more of an online process than a paper form process like we have done in past years. For the scheduling process, please know that students' courses will be recommended in the academic course area by their current teacher. So when it comes time to pick courses for next year, student selections will take place with the elective courses. However, the academic core courses are going to be made based on recommendations from the previous year. Those recommendations are based on academic performance, your growth and overall progress throughout the school year, and then also prerequisites as defined in the 2021-2022 program of studies. Students will receive course request forms in the community web portal on Friday, February 12th. It is important that our students review this document with their families in advance. Please take this document, review the program of studies, and choose the electives based on the opportunities that are available and your individual interests. All elective choices must have an alternate option. But please make special note, students may not use the same alternate for all elective choices, nor can they use their first choice elective as an alternate. Just please make sure you make special note of that as you are taking a look at electives and the backup courses that you'd like to take if you don't get into your first choice. Students may step down in a class on the scheduling form. So for example, you may move from honors biology to academic biology. However, students are not permitted to step up in a course using the scheduling form. So if you're in an academic level class, you are recommended for that. You cannot just submit an honors level class on your own. There is more of a formal process to do so, and it will require a waiver form. That waiver form is something that you will have to discuss with your family and then submit within the scheduling process as your scheduling form is completed. All forms must be signed by a parent or guardian and submitted through the community web portal by Friday, February 19th. Students will not meet with a counselor without a submitted form. It is most important to use the critical document for the scheduling process, that being the 2021-2022 program of studies. A lot of work and effort goes into this document to provide valuable information and resources to our students and families to help them be prepared for the scheduling process. If we can send you to one place to look for critical information, it's to the program of studies. Talk over the choices with your family. Seek input from your parents, from your guardians. Seek input from your teachers that you're currently working with this school year. Plan elective courses prior to the assigned scheduling day. Have a game plan in place to enter the scheduling process. As I mentioned on a few slides earlier, your alternate courses are very important as well. You may not get into your first choice class, so have a few backup plans in place. Come to the scheduling time prepared with questions that you may have for your counselors. Your counselors are experts in this area. They're very knowledgeable about all of the programs that are offered here at our high school and enjoy the experience of working with students and trying to find the best possible schedule for each student in our high school. Write down your questions with your parents. Bring those with you to the scheduling meeting as you get to discuss with your counselor. We cannot honor requests for the following. Again, please know, a specific teacher, that's just simply not something that we can do. We're a large high school, we have a large staff and a large student body. We would love to have students take the exact teacher that they want to do. It's just not possible with our scheduling process. I know many of you would love to have a specific lunch period with your group of friends. The great thing about going to a large high school like Pine Richland is there is a good chance that you're going to find somebody that you're close with in one of our lunch periods. We also can't schedule a specific period for a class or a study hall. That's just not possible when you look at the amount of student schedules that we are looking to manage to fit into our bell schedule each day. We will do everything we can to get you a schedule that is most appropriate and academically fit for your experience here at the high school. But please know these specific requests are not things that we can meet through the scheduling process. Our master schedule, the entire operation of Pine Richland High School, is built from the requests that our students make. Choices made now will help you ensure that your requests or alternates are on next year's schedule. We can't stress enough the importance of the time and preparation that you put forth in the planning your schedule so that it helps the process into next fall and you get into as many classes that you really want to. Schedule changes are not made over the summer, and there is no guarantee that you'll be able to change your schedule at the start of next school year. Considering the amount of students that you're working with and the amount of classes that we have to be able to be flexible through the scheduling process. Policy 124 explains our alternative instruction methods. So if you are pursuing an acceleration path, a credit recovery program, retaking a course, foreign exchange, or even enrichment, there's an application process that students and families need to partake in. There are deadlines for submitting these applications and they must be followed. You can find this information on page 14 of our program of studies, and here you can reference further details on policy 124. Last but not least, before I turn it over, just like to explain a little bit about what it's like life at the high school. The class of 2025's daily schedule will consist of these following courses: English, math, science, and social studies, recommended health and physical education in the 9th grade school year, a lunch, and then electives. That being said, there is some flexibility within this schedule. However, this is what a typical day in the life of a 9th grade student looks like at Pine Richland High School. I really appreciate your time and look forward to working with all of you. With that, I'd like to turn it over to our Assistant Principal, Dr. Spiller. Thank you.
Hi, 8th graders. I'm Dr. Seviller, and it is truly my privilege to welcome you to the high school. I serve as the assistant principal for the 9th grade, and I love this time of year, talking about scheduling and getting you all really excited to come to the high school. So we're going to go through a little bit more information about what you will find in the program of studies and some choices you have for your courses, and then I'm also going to talk to you about utilizing the program of studies to help you make those choices. So as you see on the screen, we have our English classes listed. These are the 3 options that you have that you will see on your course request form for your English class next year. Your current English teacher will be making recommendations for which of these courses you should take as a 9th grader. In our math department, students coming into the high school take a variety of math courses. Again, your current math teachers will be making a recommendation for what course you should take when you enter 9th grade. On the screen is just a short list of some of the courses or most likely courses that you will be in as a 9th grader. Just keep in mind that in order to take an honors level course, you have to have a 90% or higher average in your current course, and like I said, your teacher recommendation is also required for that. There are a couple pathways for science. Some of you may take Earth and Environment, others may be in one of our biology courses. Just like English and math, your current science teachers will be making those recommendations for you. You will see that recommendation too on your course request form. And finally, social studies, you have 2 choices there: U.S. history or honors U.S. history. Just like those other subjects, your current social studies teachers will be making a recommendation for that course as well. At the high school, I know this is what you're really excited about, is all of our elective departments. So this is where you really get to choose some fun and exciting classes to take and explore throughout your 4 years at the high school. All of our elective departments are listed on the screen, and there are a variety of choices of classes within each of those departments. Whenever you open your course request form on the community web portal, the classes that you are able to take as a freshman, you'll be able to select on that form. One thing that our students are really get excited about to explore is the options at the A.W. Beatty Career Center. Now, this isn't open to ninth graders, but ninth grade is when you would start thinking about whether you want to take part in one of the 20 programs that A.W. Beatty Career Center offers. All of those programs are listed on the screen, and when we share this presentation now, you'll be able to click on these 3 videos. The top one was produced by Pine Richland High School students, and so you'll be able to see a little bit of a day in the life of a Pine Richland High School student who attends one of the Beatty programs. And then the other 2 videos are produced by A.W. Beatty, and again, just sharing some of the cool things that they're doing there. If you do opt to go to Beatty, those credits that you take at the Beatty Career Center will count as your elective credits, but we'll get into all of that as you enter your 10th grade year. And of course, there are tons of activities for you to get involved in. Lots of sports, lots of clubs, all kinds of activities. Mr. Pushkis mentioned the importance of balance in your schedule, and that means your academic schedule during the school day, but also your after-school schedule with your family and other obligations. But there's something for everyone, and we really do encourage you to get involved. You should be familiar this year with Naviance. That is our online electronic college and career planning tool. You probably have done some activities with your current school counselors in 8th grade right now, and we'll continue to use this program to help plan for your future as you move through the high school. The school counselors and teachers will be taking you through different activities to help you really think about where your skills are, where your interests are, what classes should you take that should relate to those, and then what will life look like when you leave our building. Okay, so we're back to the program of studies. So this is where all of the information that Mrs. Bowman, Mr. Salopek, and Mr. Pushkis and I have been talking about. This is your go-to resource for scheduling. So Mr. Pushkis did show this slide to you already, but I want to bring it back to remind you how you can access the program of studies. It's as simple as going on to the Pine Richland website, pinerichland.org. You click on At Your Service, which is across the top, and then when that box opens, you click on Program of Studies. When you open that page, you will be able to click on a couple different resources there. Mr. Pushkis talked about the graduation planner and also the time management planner. So both of those documents are there for you to open, and then also a couple versions of the program of studies. You can go with the boring old PDF version of the program of studies or the highly interactive HTML version of the program of studies, and that's like flipping through a book, but it's actually just on the computer for you. But there's lots of interactive links, and there's all kinds of great information for you to know about the high school and about classes that you might have an interest in taking. This document is big. I think we ended at 136 pages this year, so it can be a little daunting to navigate, but we've put some things in that will help you go through that big document. So for instance, at the bottom of every page where it says the page number, there's a link for table of contents. So no matter what page you're on, you can always link and go back to the table of contents and then figure out what section you want to go through from there. Almost everything is linked in this document, so you just have to click here, there, and anywhere to get to a different page. You don't necessarily have to go through page by page. Last year, we added career clusters to the program of studies, so you'll see that within this document. And this is really important because you'll see these replicated in your graduation plan. Your school counselor at the high school will be talking through different career options. We don't expect you to have it all figured out. That is A-okay. We'll talk about this every single year, and your plan could change 100 times a year, and that's okay. We just always want to be thinking about what life after high school is going to look like. Also included in the program of studies are videos for a lot of our courses, especially our elective courses. So if you come across a course description, it'll have the course name and then a little video picture beside it, and then the description is underneath. Go ahead and click on that video. It'll open up so that a teacher and students are talking about what that elective or what that course is all about. So you can decide if that's something that might be of interest to you as a 9th grader, or maybe even as a 10th, 11th, or 12th grader. Now I would like to welcome Mrs. Bowman back so that she can close out our program today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm really so very excited to welcome you to the high school next year.
Thank you, Dr. Seviller. And I want to take a moment and thank Mr. Pushkis and Mr. Salopek as well. Hopefully you saw in the messages that were shared, there is a lot of information that we shared with you today, but we are so excited to welcome you as the class of 2025. The last final thoughts that I have for you are related to our pride values that we share with every student in our school district from grade K, kindergarten, all the way up through our senior class. We take great pride in the offerings that we have here at the high school, and it is so important for us to know that you are comfortable and taking advantage of those opportunities. The other image on this screen is the graduate portrait, and we all know that through our experiences in our courses, we learn knowledge and we learn skills. But as we are preparing you for steps in your journey beyond Pine Richland High School, it is so much more than that. It is about the personal qualities and characteristics that you have, for example. And so we want to make sure that while you are spending your 4 years with us at the high school, you continue to learn and grow and develop as a young adult. Thank you so much for your time and your attention today. And I'm going to leave you with one homework assignment, and that homework assignment is to go home tonight and make sure that you are opening up that program of studies on the website and taking time to begin to review that document with your family and begin to make choices for your high school career. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.